Ladies and gentlemen, we got Giants training camp back in the building. Giants football is finally back. This Wednesday, Giants training camp kicks off, man, and I'm super excited. I'm super excited for the people that are going to be going. I'm going to be making it out to one of the training camps as well, so definitely stay tuned on that. I'm going to love to try to vlog my experience when I'm out there. But listen, let's talk about the players that we're looking out for during these training camp practices. There's a lot of players that are obviously battling for positions, a lot of players battling to make the team, but who are the key players to look out for during training camp? And I'm going to give you the top 3 players to watch. And let's jump straight into it, man. The first player I'm going to be looking at is your future franchise quarterback, Jackson Dart. Jackson Dart is the rookie quarterback on this team, but he's in a situation where he might not be playing a lot of games his first year. Some people think he's going to play more games than others. So that's why we got to look out and see what he's like and what he's currently progressing as in training camp. Listen, we have a long season to go, and I think Jackson Dart has a long career potentially to go, especially outside of this first year. I don't think it's going to be a one and done. But training camp is important because we got to see where the guy's at. We got to see where Brian Daboll is going to be utilizing him. Are we going to start seeing Jackson Dart get room with the ones? Is he going to start running with them? The biggest thing in this offseason so far has been, when will Jackson Dart step in? Russell Wilson's the quarterback right now, but some people think that Jackson Dart could step in after a couple of weeks, after the first couple losses. They could easily see Brian Daboll switch over to Jackson Dart because apparently Brian Daboll is the one that's madly in love with Jackson Dart. He loves him as a prospect, loves him for what he can be for the quarterback of his team, and obviously he wants to turn it over to the young guy to also get some reps in with him and prove that that's his quarterback and he should have another year with that quarterback. That's the biggest thing with Jackson Dart, and his biggest, honestly, question mark is, when will he play? Well, during these training camp practices, the thing you should be looking out for is obviously his on-time, throwing decisions, him making the decision to throw the ball, how many interceptions he throw for. Obviously, once again, we shouldn't be tracking incompletions and completions. People are going to do that, but I say this in the sense of, can he play? Can he play in this league? Can he match up with guys in this league? That's the biggest thing and biggest temperature check with Jackson Dart that we should be looking at, especially considering, once again, you're going to be playing against guys that already been practicing against you, that can scheme up against you. I think we could all remember when apparently Wink Martindale was scheming up against Daniel Jones and knew the plays. Will you see those type of things happen with Jackson Dart, and what will you see out of it? That's my biggest thing and my biggest thing to watch for with Jackson Dart. Once again, I believe he has the arm to make certain throws. It's just about making the right decision consistently, and also too, getting comfortable with playing in this league. We all know it is a big talent gap from jumping from the college to the NFL. We got to see if Jackson Dart is up for it. And Jackson Dart, easily, with him being the rookie quarterback, the franchise quarterback, that's the guy you got to watch out for, man. That's the number one guy. We know Russell Wilson's going to be the quarterback. He's going to get majority of the reps, but we know that people in this camp love Jackson Dart. It's time to watch him and see what he can do throughout training camp. My number 2 player to watch for on this New York Giants team is a player from last year that got drafted, and I'm super excited for. I think he could be the X factor on this defense, but it also truly falls on how he will progress this year. Tyler Nubin, the second-round safety last year. He's going into the second year of his career. I think Tyler Nubin is poised for a big breakout year, man. He really is. I think we didn't get to see exactly everything he can do, and honestly, I don't think he performed to the best capability of himself. We didn't really see him as a ball hawk, and that's something that he did in Minnesota in college. He had a couple interceptions under his belt. When it translated to the NFL, last year we barely had any interceptions. It took us a while to even get one from a defensive back. I need Tyler Nubin to take a step up this year, and I need it to be evident. We even signed another safety, Jevon Holland, to room alongside with Tyler Nubin. Obviously, we know Xavier McKinney used to be on this team, so we thought Nubin would be that replacement. But at this point, I don't care who the replacement is. I just want to see Tyler Nubin ball out. You were a second-round safety for a reason. I got to see him flying all over the place and making plays. We have some young players on this defense and young players on this team overall, but especially on this defensive back unit. We got Deonte Banks, Paulson Adibos, they're going to be the veteran. Obviously, Jevon Holland, Tyler Nubin. We got Andrew Phillips. We got some young guys in the secondary, and I need one of them to take a step up, and I'm leaning on Tyler Nubin over the other guys. I really am. I'm leaning on Tyler Nubin, and once again, we saw him be physical in the run game and be physical when it came to taking on blocks, but I really want to see him, make his name known in coverage. I know Jevon Holland will most likely, and we'll see how Shane Bowen utilizes them. Jevon Holland is probably going to be the lockdown guy in the back end. If that's the case, I need Tyler Nubin all over the field making plays. That's what I want to see out of Tyler Nubin. Of course, it's once again, what is Shane Bowen going to do with the guys that are on the field? But Shane Bowen is one of the guys that drafted, obviously, Tyler Nubin. He had a plan in mind with Tyler Nubin. I think last year, you didn't really see him be utilized all over the field like that. You saw him come down in the box from time to time. Is that going to be a role that's still going to be his? I think so. I think Javon Holland should be locking down the backfield, but I want to see Tyler Nubin make the plays on the ball. I don't think we saw enough of that, just being honest. I really don't think we saw anything in pass coverage. So hopefully Tyler Nubin takes that big step up, and that will make this defense even better, because we got some guys that we can bank on the front four, and one of those guys we're going to be talking about in a second. But specifically on the back end, if this defensive back unit needs to get better, we're going to have a great year out of Paulson Adebo. We're going to need Banks to step up, but I really think Nubin has to be that X factor that changes this defense. I think so, honestly. I'm just being transparent. When it comes to the defensive back unit, Tyler Nubin needs to be the guy. That's my second guy to watch for. And the last guy, number 3, and it's no surprise that I'm bringing up this player, but it's also super vital for this defense, Abdul Carter. We have to watch for Abdul Carter and seeing what he's going to do during training camp. And it's not necessarily on his impact on the field with, the pressure that he's consistently bringing, because I think he's going to be doing that consistently. It's about where we are using Abdul Carter and what we can see when it translates to the real NFL season. That's the biggest thing. We know Abdul Carter, once again in college, played off-ball linebacker for a year. Then he got put on the outside, and he was obviously a force to be reckoned with. The guy should be walking into almost double-digit sacks this year, y'all. I'm letting you know right now. If he doesn't hit that mark, it's because, 1, he missed a couple games, or 2, you got other guys on the defensive line that is eating, guys like Kayvon Thibodeau, Brian Burns, or even Dexter Lawrence. I think Abdul Carter could be that type of guy for this defense, but it's just all about where is Shane Bowen utilizing Abdul Carter. Are you going to see him play off-ball linebacker a bit? Are you going to see him move around all over the field instead of consistently staying down on one side and trying to get home to the quarterback? We know Kayvon Thibodeau is going to get some reps in, but most likely I do want to see Brian Burns and Abdul Carter on the outside, but you got to make all of these guys fit, and I think Abdul Carter is probably the most versatile player out of the 3. Compared to Brian Burns, compared to Kayvon Thibodeau, Abdul Carter is a guy that you can move everywhere, make him a chess piece, and also try to mess up matchups for the offensive line. Once again, we'll continue to revisit this site before we see it. Dexter Lawrence, Brian Burns, Abdul Carter, Kayvon Thibodeau, all on the line. Somebody has to get double teamed, someone has a single matchup, and somebody has to get home. And I think Abdul Carter is going to be that vital chess piece that you move around, you put him and blitz him from the linebacker position, you have him line up over the nose tackle, who knows? There's a lot of different ways you can use Abdul Carter. I mean, right now there's a video circulating of him dropping back into coverage from the D-line position and completely slamming a wide receiver. It was an insane clip. I'll make sure I put that up. But you'd like to see that type of thing out of Abdul Carter, and that's the type of things that he can do and potentially make an impact in this league. Abdul Carter was our first draft pick for a reason. They're going to utilize him. They're definitely going to get their wear and tear in with him, and he should be a force to be reckoned with. He's the number 3 guy to watch out for and see how Shane Bowen cooks up with Abdul Carter. Once again, he's probably the most talented, and hear me out when I say this, probably after Dexter, but the most talented defensive player on this team, and we should be honestly seeing how it comes to fruition this upcoming year, man. Those are going to be the 3 players to watch out for training camp, man. If you're excited for training camp, let me know down below the player that I missed, the player that I didn't mention in the comments, man. Once again, more content coming soon, luckily, because we got some things to touch on and seeing what every training camp practice means for this team, man. I'm excited. I will catch you guys on the next one. Peace.